Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ted's Booze Cellar, the premier alcohol review show here on YouTube. It is Thursday early evening on the 3rd of October 2024. It's just about to go 35 minutes past 6, so I hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs, and I hope you've got a great weekend planned ahead. Or at least, if things aren't going well for you right now, I hope they improve very, very soon. So we're going to be taking a look today at a beer, or another beer rather, that was gifted to me very kindly by the auntie of my sister-in-law. And I thought, well, you know, I've had a long old day at work and I haven't had much sleep in the last couple of days. And then I followed up work with a good, decent cardio session in the gym. So I thought, what better way to reward myself than with a nice, beer from Norfolk? And I've got to say, in recent times, I've kind of gotten into trying craft beers from Norfolk because there seems to be quite a few from that part of the country, that neck of the woods, that are actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this is like. This is by Moongazer, who are a Norfolk brewhouse craft brewery, and this is their Pondhopper Norfolkness IPA. It's a 4.5%er, and it's actually a Anglo-American collaboration because, see, there is actually technically there's two Norfolks in a sense, because there's obviously Norfolk in the UK, but there's also Norfolk in the USA as well. So we've got here on the back a golden fruit explosion of a pale ale and a true taste of transatlantic Norfolkness. A collaboration between Moongazer, who are the English brewery from Norfolk in the UK, and Smartmouth Brewery, who are the American brewery from Norfolk in the USA. So I'm interested to see what the best of British and American brewing styles can conjure up, because I know American beer gets quite a bad rep, but I feel like that's mainly because of the mainstream lagers that come out of America, things like Budweiser and stuff like that, or Blue Ribbon, which is particularly not great. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of an unfair assumption, because I think America actually has a really, really great scene for IPAs and craft beers in general. So the collaboration between American breweries and British breweries, which I'm a bit biased towards British breweries, but I can only imagine that would produce at least acceptable results. But I will say, for starters, I really am quite interested in the colour mix on this can. I love the way they've implemented the design of the label onto the can, and it kind of stands out against it really nicely. The sort of like yellow outlines of the rabbit against like the silver shape of the rabbit, and then you've got like the black background against the yellow and white writing here that says the name of the beer. It's an interesting mix of colours. They do, well, I don't know, I feel like if it was just yellow and silver, or yellow and black, or if it was like black and silver, I feel like if they mainly concentrated on a dual colour profile, the can would look a lot better. As it is, it still looks really nice, but the thing is, while I like the artistry, the colours, and the general design of it, it just does feel slightly sort of like messy and busy, the design of this label and can. It's not bad. In fact, actually, messy is a bit unkind, but I would say it is a little bit busy, in all honesty. But I don't know, I don't think it looks bad. I just think that the design is a bit much, but I mean, who am I to judge? I'm not an artist anyway. So I'll give the design of the label and the can, honestly, a respectable 6.5 out of 10. I think it looks good, but we'll only know what this is really like once we've sniffed and tasted it. So, quick snifter to see what our first impressions are like. Right, okay, so this one didn't get fizzed up quite as much as the other beers I brought back from Norfolk, so let's see. Not much room to speak of when you're smelling it in the can. It did get fizzed up a fair bit, so I'm going to say inconclusive, but let's pour it into this Titanic Brewery glass and see if we can smell a bit more of the nose in the glass itself. I imagine it's probably going to smell a bit citrusy with slight tropical notes, because a lot of American IPAs do love to have that tropical sense to them. Okay, and then a little bit of the foam went on the floor there, but let's see, golden fruit explosion. Yeah, they don't really go too much into the flavour profile of this beer on the can. I did see there's a little bit more information on Moongazer's website, and also on the webpage for this particular beer on Beers of Europe, so do give those a look in. But yeah, on the can they don't really say much else apart from the fact that it's fruity, and yeah, that's basically it. Oh, it does say on the back here actually, the ingredients include water, barley, hops, orange, pineapple, and lemon and yeast. So, okay, well, I mean, I guess it will smell and taste like those particular fruits then. But anyway, let's have a quick sniff during the glass. Bit of a subdued nose, but definitely get a sense of the pineapple. The hoppiness is quite prominent, but it's not too overpowering. And yeah, you get a bit of the lemon in there as well. I don't get much of an orange smell, I guess it's more of just a general citrus smell, but the main smell there is pineapple. It's a bit overpowering on the other noses, or the other aspects of the nose, I should say. But generally speaking, it's a nice smelling drink. It's just, I feel like it just could be a bit more fuller bodied and a bit more vibrant in general. But I don't know, it's a nice nose, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, but I don't know. Anyway, quick palate cleanser of water before we see what this sucker really tastes like. Now, let's really see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a good weekend ahead, and bottoms up. It's not the smoothest bit, but it goes down very easily though. It's very palatable. It's funny, it's kind of got like the texture that's kind of like a cross between an IPA and a session lager. But then the aftertaste is distinctly that of an IPA. It's got a hoppy bitterness at the end, kind of undercut by a citrusiness. You don't really get so much of the pineapple in the main through line, or really any aspect of the flavour. It's quite weird. There is like a slight tinge of pineapple flavour actually, that kind of undercuts everything, and it kind of helps actually like balance things out a bit. I just wish there was a bit more of it. Again, same thing with the orange and the lemon flavours. They are there, but they are kind of more on the periphery in the sense that they kind of complement the main flavour and just kind of undercut everything quite nicely. The main flavour is this quite sort of bitter hoppiness that's interesting, and it is actually quite nice. But the problem is that it kind of overpowers the other flavours, and I don't know, it's not a... I don't know. It's not necessarily a bad beer really in any major sense, but I just feel like the flavour profile is a bit unbalanced. It's quite bitter, so I wouldn't say this is probably a first port of call for first time IPA drinkers, as it's somewhat intense, it is quite bitter, and especially so in the aftertaste as well. But for seasoned IPA drinkers, I think if you want something with a bit more of a citrusy edge, I think this is a really good bet. But I think that, you know, there are beers with slightly better balanced flavour profiles that are a little bit smoother, so I would say give this a shot and see if you like it. But overall, it is pretty good. It's just not amazing. There are some things I would tweak about it, particularly to do with the sort of smoothness of the texture and the fact that the bitterness is quite overpowering. But overall, it's a tasty beer. It's refreshing, and for an IPA, it's very light and quite crisp, and it's got a nice wetness to the texture that kind of complements that crispness as well. And that in of itself also complements the flavour quite nicely as well, which I feel like helps it stand out a bit. So, I don't know, my feelings on it are a bit conflicted, but I can't say it's a bad beer at any degree, like really it isn't. It's just that there are beers like this one that are better, and I feel like this could be balanced a little bit better, but overall it's a nice beer though, and so I'll give it a, let's see, You know what, I'll go 6.5 out of 10. I actually really enjoy this, and I probably would go out my way to get it again if it was maybe on draft in a pub, because I feel like this would be a lot better on draft. But overall, I do think this is actually generally really good. I do see this as a beer that some people might like a lot more than me, and I'm interested enough to give the other beers that Moongazer have done a shot, because I do think this is good enough to act as an advertisement for that brewery. I just get the feeling that there might be slightly better beers that they've made, but overall, I think this is really good. And let's obviously not forget that this is a collaborative effort, so it's not just, you know, Moongazer who have made this, you know, it is also made by Smartmouth Brewing as well. But overall, I think it's pretty good as a collaboration beer, so yeah, pretty nice stuff. I will say 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, would buy, but probably not for first time IPA drinkers, that's for sure. But anyway, if you guys did like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, be that in relation to video formats or just generally drinks I should review, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. And yeah, until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar.